boards groan under a heavy pine chair. Just a match and a cutter in the evening air. I leave the phone on the table, leave the world at the door. Don't need the noise or the grip of the floor. Just a cedar and the leaf and the blue-gray trail, watching shadows grow long over the rusted rail. It's a 60-minute mercy, a slow burning grace, before I head to the lounge, to my rightful place. The torch flame flickers, the ash starts to gray. Wash the dust of the valley and the burdens away. So keep them lit, guys, let the thick clouds roll. There's a healing in the embers for a weary soul. From the pondering porch to the leather and the grain, we're the kings of the smoke, we're the salt of the plain. Pass the fire to your brother, let the circle sit till the last draw's taken. Keep 'em lit. Step through the cedar door, smell the bourbon and the age. Another chapter written on a tobacco page. There's a trucker, a lawman, and a hand from the mill, sharing stories in silence while the clock stands still. No man is a stranger once the cap is cut. We leave the pride and the labels in a gravelly rut. It's a brotherhood bonded by the ring and the rap, with the weight of the week falling into our laps. So keep 'em lit, guys, let the thick clouds roll. There's a healing in the embers for a weary soul. From the pondering porch to the leather and the grain, we're the kings of the smoke, we're the salt of the plain. Pass the fire to your brother, let the circle sit till the last draw's taken. Keep 'em lit. It ain't about the habit, it ain't about the vice. It's the ritual of brothers, where the soul finds its price. In the haze, we are steady. In the smoke, we are one. In the smoke, we are one. Let the thick clouds roll. There's a healing in the embers for a weary soul. From the pondering porch to the leather and the grain, we're the kings of the smoke, we're the salt of the plain. Pass the fire to your brother, let the circle sit till the last draw's taken. Keep 'em lit, yeah, keep 'em lit. Let it burn. Keep 'em lit.
Hello, and welcome to Keep 'em Lit, guys. It's good to have you all with us here tonight. I'm Keith Meisner, aka CigarPop.
I'm Lance Williams with Cigar Reviews by Lance.
If you're new here, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. Also, tap that bell so you know when we go live or we post something new. So, Lance, what's on tonight's agenda?
We have a very special guest. First time for us to have a cigar lounge owner on, and I'm so excited. Her name is Miss Toni Wilkes, and she's the owner of Spartan Cigar Lounge in Elkton, Maryland, and we're blessed to have her on.
Hi,
Thank
Toni,
you
how are
guys
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Thank you both for inviting me. I'm excited to do this with you.
Thank you.
Well, we appreciate you
Sure.
taking time out of your busy day to join us here.
I'd probably be up front taking a nap or something. No, just kidding.
So I'm going to bring up some
So
information here. And if you don't mind, go ahead and tell us a little bit about Spartan.
sure. So we are Spartan Cigar Lounge. We are located at 128 East Pulaski Highway in Elkton, Maryland. I hear often how it's such an unlikely location, but it's been wonderful for us. In November, we will be here 9 years. So we did open in November of 2017. We've gone, we've had our ups and downs like everybody. We survived COVID, which is a blessing, if you ask me.
Yes.
Uh, we have a 13 by 12 walk-in humidor. We have a couple cabinets. We offer membership lounge as well as a public lounge. Uh, the only thing that I can't offer right now is BYOB. And I think we can touch on that in a little bit if you want, unless you want me to touch on it now.
Now, and anybody wants to look for Spartan Cigar Lounge, you can find it at www.spartancigarlounge.com.
Thank you for that, Keith.
Yes.
No problem.
So, what are we going to smoke today?
So I am smoking a Tuscanello by Toscano Cigars in limoncello flavor. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not typically a flavored cigar person. These Tuscanellos, though, are so well balanced that it's just a nice little treat. And I probably shouldn't be smoking, but for the sake of the show, I wanted to light something up and figured something small would be appropriate.
Well, thank you.
You're
Keith?
welcome.
Keith, what are you
I
enjoying?
have the Habano number 3 from Grand Habano. And this thing feels about the size of a nub. So it's a 4x60. I think that's what
And
this is.
I'm going to enjoy this Perdomo 12th anniversary Maduro Toro. So no better time than to cut and light, and let's get this conversation started.
That's right.
Actually, it's kind of funny. I'm sitting here looking at the wrapper, even though it says Shorty Robusto Habano. It looks like it says it's a 6x40, and that is definitely not a 6x40. I think it's a 4x60.
They got their numbers mixed up. That happens.
So, Miss Toni, you and your husband own Spartan Cigar Lounge, am I right?
So we do have a third partner.
Okay.
He's kind of in the background. That's Peter, but you are correct. We just have a third partner. He's actually one of the original founding fathers of Spartan. My husband Ed and I bought into the business about 4 years in, but I have been here since opening day in 2017.
So what made you decide to take that leap into being an owner of a cigar lounge?
Well, I'm stupid. No, I'm just
No.
A lack of common sense.
That's it. That's it. See, you see the blonde? No. So there were two original founding fathers, and one of them was looking to get out. I was the GM at the time, and it just made sense, right? I already did day-to-day operations. I knew every customer. I was the one that was here 60 to 70 hours a week.
Oh, wow.
It didn't make, yeah, it's a lot of hours. But it just didn't make sense to go, like, I can buy this or I can work for somebody. What do I want to do? So the sense just made sense.
Right.
You know? At the time. Now, I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? But it's really not that bad. It's a good job to have.
Well,
I
good.
wouldn't personally tell you to go out and start your own cigar lounge. Um, I got lucky because I bought into a lounge that was 4 years established. Um, but seeing that I've been here from the beginning, it it took a lot of work to get to 4 years established. So
Oh, I bet. I am so
yeah.
jealous of y'all because here where I'm at in Louisiana, the nearest cigar lounge to me is a good 2 hours away. And I
Oh
am so
my
jealous.
goodness.
Yes. They've tried it here and the people around here just don't get behind it. They'll stay open for like maybe 8 months or a year and people just don't get behind it and it just eventually closes the doors.
Yep.
But we do
So
have two small brick and mortars. That's about it.
okay, I was gonna say, can I ask you a question? And so
Yeah, I'm sorry.
are they, no, 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 you're fine. Are they cigar shops, or are you having to go to like tobacco shops to get your
Well,
cigars?
most of my personal cigars I get online. Most of them. I do frequent my local his bro's tobacco company. He's in Alexandria. He got one in Pineville. It's mostly a vape shop because that's the new trend now is the vaping stuff. But he does have a very nice walk-in humidor and a good variety. So I go in there and I do business, to support my local guys.
Okay, good, good. And I mean, even if you didn't, you're kind of put in a situation where you almost, excuse me, you almost have to order online
Yeah, because he
because your options are so limited.
correct, correct. Yeah. So what moment it struck you and your husband, or can you speak on his behalf on this? Is you said, "Oh hell, we're doing this. This is for real. We're really getting into this."
The day we signed the paperwork,
It
we sat
became
down, we
real.
signed that paperwork, and I'm like, this is real. This is real. This isn't somebody else is responsible for making sure my paycheck is there. Like, I'm now totally responsible. And if sales are slow, staff has to be paid before I get paid. Like, this is real. But
Yes,
yeah, it's been good. It's been really good. I
great.
can't. I I know. Like, I would not. And I've said this before. I get asked all the time. So what's it take to start a place? And my simple answer is don't do it. And Keith, I might have told you that.
Yeah.
Um, because yes, it's great. You get to meet a lot of good people. You get to smoke a lot of good cigars. Uh, it's for the most part, it's 80% relaxing. But then there's the behind the scenes stuff that you know Joe Public doesn't see. And when you're looking at the books going, I worked my ass off this week and oh shit, rent's due. That kind of stuff can be because we're literally, you got to think about it. Most cigar lounges are paying rent one $10 cigar at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get some of the bigger places that, yeah, they've got their online stuff and they're kind of touristy attractions, right? And they might get the box sale here and whatnot. But in our four walls, we're literally paying rent. We're paying all of our bills one cigar at a time, you know. So that gets scary. You get the end of the week and you didn't hit your numbers for the week and you're like, what did I do wrong? I take everything very personally and I shouldn't, but I do. Um, if we have a bad week, I immediately go to what did I do wrong? And it's not anything I did.
Yeah. I was
It's
gonna
the
say it's
economy.
nothing that
It's
you're
the
doing wrong.
no. It's typically the weather or the economy or the time of year. Back to school, graduation, wedding season is up and down, right? Uh, the weekend might be crappy because everybody's out at these weddings or whatever. But then it might be made up because the groom came in and bought everybody cigars. So it's a give and take. Um, but it's also scary because you need to go to the grocery store. You don't need to go to the cigar lounge.
Yes.
So when you have $10 left, are you buying your, your milk and cereal, or are you going to go buy your cigar? So it's been, the last couple of years have been very trying.
So
Very
you
trying.
mentioned weather, and being here in Louisiana, we either have a little bit of cold and all summer, and that's about it. But in Maryland, I imagine you'll get a lot of snow. So how does the cold weather and the snow affect your business? Does it drive it up, or you?
So it's it's been so up and down.
Mhm.
Um, the first couple of years we were open, snow was wonderful. People would come out in droves. Since I always say this, we have before COVID and after COVID. And I hate saying that,
Yeah.
but COVID changed so much that like pre-COVID, rain, snow, maybe not rain so much. People don't like to come out in rain, but snow, especially if you got a snow day, the lounge would be full. After COVID, the only thing predictable is unpredictability. Like there's absolutely no consistency. This past winter was rough with the cold and all. People just weren't coming out. Now, I can tell you that I've seen a pattern in where, say, the weekend's really crappy uh, in sales, like just say Friday, Saturday, Sunday, nobody comes out. All of a sudden, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which should be your shitty days. Oh, sorry, your
No,
it's
crappy
no,
fine.
days.
you're fine.
um, are suddenly it's suddenly your weekend. So I have noticed this pattern where people, maybe they're busy or the weather's crappy and they don't want to come out or whatever, but then they make it up later in the week.
Right.
So we are in an industry where the hobby does get missed. Um, I love sitting at home smoking on my own patio, but I also like the camaraderie that comes with being in a lounge. So
The meeting of new people and
the meeting of new people, the just the atmosphere, right? Um, the conversations that go on years ago. So I'm originally from Pennsylvania, and the biggest, the big box store that we shall not mention
Okay.
was in my backyard, and
Yeah,
was
Lance knows all
technically
about all of them. He was wondering why Pennsylvania has all the cigar companies.
no tobacco taxes. That's the answer to that one.
I
They
did
are
not know that.
very
Okay.
they're very tobacco tax friendly. Florida, Pennsylvania, Texas, um, they just don't have a tobacco tax. Now, Maryland, we have a 15%. So anything that comes through our doors is automatically taxed 15%. It's one of those headaches I was telling you about when we opened the book,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, Lance and I discussed in one
So
of our other episodes that for Louisiana they've got a, what is it, 50-cent cap?
Is that they just put a 50-cent cap on the tax, which is, thank God. I mean, it stopped somewhere, but still it's 50 cents.
Yeah, I think it.
right.
If I remember correctly, it's what, 20% of uh, I guess the wholesale list price or something, but it caps at 50 cents.
Yes.
So whether it's $1 cigar or $100 cigar, the tax is still 50 cents, or won't exceed 50 cents.
Or won't exceed 50 cents, right?
Right.
So that seems fair. A lot of states are doing that. Um,
Now Alaska, on
and
the
then you
other
got
hand,
states.
they're
I was going to go to
75% tax, and there is no cap. So for every dollar of wholesale, you're paying 75 cents
75
in
cents.
tax on it.
Absolutely.
So that $10
Man.
cigar just became $17.50.
Yep. And New York's the same way. Well, not really.
We're
The
gonna
New
we,
York has its
we're gonna talk about New York.
Yeah.
they're
That's a hot
funky.
topic.
Yeah, because but it's not on the wholesale. It's on the first price as it comes into the country. It's some weird, but it jacks, however it's done, it jacks the prices through the roof.
Well, basically, they're just trying to. It's prohibition again. I mean, if you want to look at it anyway, that's basically what they're trying to do.
Yeah. New York is
Right.
pushing that generational ban.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
as blue as Maryland is, I can see them trying to do the same.
Mm.
And that was part of
Well,
what, as I had mentioned to you before, when it comes to brick and mortar, what regulations affect you with Maryland as a brick and mortar?
as a brick and mortar, so obviously taxes.
Yeah.
Um, and our lovely state, I moved here for love and a cigar lounge. And there are days where I very much miss the freedoms I had in Pennsylvania. But I am here, and I will say this: when I go back to PA, I can't wait to come home to Maryland. So there is that. This
No
does
place like
still feel
home.
more right. However, we are taxed to death, and it's interesting because we had opened. Well, Maryland's got crazy liquor laws, right? Uh, and some of our stuff sits in a very gray area, and it's then left up to each county to make their own rules. So when we opened, we understood the law to be, if you have a private club, you can allow BYOB. So as a member of Spartan Cigar Lounge, you could BYOB. Then, without going into too much detail, somebody came along, started questioning things, and 7.5 years into business, we were told we were not allowed to BYOB anymore.
Wow.
Yes. And that is because the county we are in has a strict no BYOB in businesses law. Uh, the agent that came to speak to us, and they were cool. Like, they didn't fine us. They literally came to educate us. And I have the utmost respect for the agent that came in. He was super friendly. He wasn't condescending. He wasn't out to get us. He was literally out to make sure we didn't get in trouble.
Just to educate you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he said, look, if you follow what I'm telling you, you'll never see me again. Perfect. We're not here to break rules. We're just trying to run a business. What I felt like, and it wasn't just me. That same day, he was leaving to go to a nail salon to tell her that she had to stop allowing. She was offering free chocolate martinis or something when you sat for a service, and somebody complained about it, and she was
Wow.
also going to be educated. So what's aggravating is for 7.5 years, nobody bothered us. Matter of fact, I had a county executive that used to come in here and smoke. Nobody bothered us. They knew what was going on. It was the fact that somebody came out and started questioning things that their hands were left tied. They had no choice but to tell us that we had to stop. Again, am I disappointed? Absolutely. Am I mad at them for doing their job? Not at all. So February of last year, uh, right at membership renewal time. That was hard. We had to inform our current members that they needed to empty their lockers of all alcohol, and that we would no longer allow alcohol on site. So we immediately started making phone calls, and what do we got to do? and all that fun stuff. But Maryland, we have a lobbyist group here in Maryland that is trying to pass a premium cigar lounge liquor license. So uh, it would be a license that is directed strictly at premium cigar lounges. So everything would revolve around what we do as an organization versus like a restaurant or a bar. So hours are a little different, costs would be a little different. Um, the internal rules are pretty much the same, other than the food rule, because we wouldn't be allowed to have food. We wouldn't be allowed to serve food. Uh, However, the Maryland law states that food has to be available if you
But
are serving alcohol.
like bags of chips or something along those lines, or
So the way the law will be written is that we have to
Popcorn,
offer,
nachos.
yeah, right. We have to offer takeout menus, which we do
oh,
anyway. So it's
okay.
not a big deal. Um, it was at like 90% that it was going to pass for this year, and it got to the last step and it sat stale because they sat on the last day, they sat in Congress and just every bill that came up got fought. So they ran out of time.
Oh,
So our bill, along with several hundred others, never even got looked at. I don't know. I don't know what that means for next year. I was supposed to go to a meeting today that I just couldn't fit into my schedule. So I'm waiting for those notes to come out to see where we stand for next year. But we will, as a group in Maryland as a whole, we will continue to keep fighting. I would imagine that since it made it to the final stages this year, it should be pretty easy to make it to the final stages next year. But I'm not going to hold my breath because this is the government we're talking about.
right. They move at their pace.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I wish
You're
you
real
the
good
best
at
of
Um,
luck
making
on
red
that.
tape,
well,
just not clearing it.
thank you. So I this the fact that it didn't pass did not upset me as much as the news we got last year, because we we took a hit last year. Like I said, it was right at membership renewal time, so we lost some memberships, and yeah, so we took a good 6 month hit last year, but we have slowly been recovering. And although I'm not in a place where I want to be, I'm in a better place than I was a year ago. So the law passing would have simply pushed us to where we want to be, but we're doing okay. So it didn't, yeah, it was a gut punch, but it wasn't it wasn't the end all. You know what I mean?
So, do you think that cigars and alcohol, if you were able to get a liquor license, that would definitely increase your volume and patrons would start coming back again?
I think so. We don't want an actual like liquor license. We want the BYOB license.
Okay,
So I'm sorry, the BYOB permit.
permit.
So the way the um, proposal for the law is written, um, there's only so many licenses that will be available, liquor licenses that will be available. But it's proposed that if you can't or do not want to get a full liquor license, then you have the ability to apply for a BYOB permit. And we said that from the beginning. The minute they told us we couldn't BYOB, we're like, okay, well, what kind of permit can I pay you for so that I can? I'll go get tips trained. I'll do whatever you need me to do so that we're legal and we can offer this. So we're actually looking for that BYOB portion of it. And I do truly believe that if and when we can advertise that we're BYOB, it'll make a huge difference.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yes, I appreciate that.
So, how do you decide, you or your partners, what cigars make it into y'all's humidor to sell? How do you go about that?
So funny thing is, you say me and my partners, I make those decisions.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to discredit anybody.
No, I mean that that sounds awful. We discuss,
Yeah,
but
I'm sure.
uh since I'm the one that I do the books and everything, I make the calls as to when something comes in and doesn't come in. Keith, I'm sorry. Is it possible that we pause? My cardiologist keeps calling.
So, Miss Tony, how do y'all decide what cigars make it into your humidor for purchasing?
So it's really trial and error, to be honest. When we opened 9 years ago, we got some advice from we have friends in the industry and whatnot that have their own lounges. So we took their advice and kind of filled the humidor with that. And then some stuff got weeded out as new stuff got brought in. It really comes down to customer feedback, reps coming in and sharing their new product with you. Um, Sometimes you just take a chance on somebody, right? Um, a good example, Fratello. Owner Omar came in one day. I liked what he gave. We smoked 2 cigars with him and we liked what we were smoking. And we said, you know what? We'll give it a try. So we brought it in. It moved really good the first round. And then we brought in a refill and it kind of took a nosedive.
Oh,
Um, I don't know if it was the excitement of the newness, and then they didn't, consumers didn't care for it. I don't know if it was a price point thing. I don't know what caused it to be so exciting and then not. But the minute something becomes dead, uh, I've got to take it off the shelf, right? Get rid of it, close it out, whatever you're doing, and move on to the next guy because a product that sits on the shelf not selling is a product that's losing you money.
Yeah, shelf
right.
space is very important.
Yes, yes. So um, it's a lot of trial and error. I've had a lot of boutique stuff in here that is no longer here. And it's some of it makes me sad because you kind of become friends with these people, right? Um,
Yeah, but at the end of the day, business is
it's
business.
business, exactly. So Rockefeller Cigars. I tried so hard. I wanted so hard to keep his cigars in here. The owner's a great guy. Um, we connected. Both of us have children on the spectrum. Like it felt like a connection made in heaven, right? But the cigars just didn't move, and it absolutely killed me to tell him the day I had to tell him that, look, man, I love your cigars. They're just not moving. I can't carry them. He understood. He's a businessman. He knows, but it's still there's still something about that, right? Uh, I had a brand that we brought in because the price point was right, and no matter what they tried to do to help me move it, these cigars would not sell. Um, One of my favorite reps went to work for this company, and I straight up had to tell him, I'm sorry, I can't do it. They've been in here. We've tried everything under the sun to get them to move. I can't help you. So uh, it's just trial and error.
Yeah.
I
So
hope
do
that answered your question.
Yeah, but does right now, so do you carry a little mixture of boutique and legacy?
Yes, yes, we do. Um, and then
Or the
when you get
LCA
into,
group.
we are in the LCA group, and even that. So we were part of the when they were doing that regular limited cigar association stuff, where they were each month they were putting out a different cigar. And something I've noticed about our location is that we are not a fanboy based lounge. Uh, the folks here aren't jumping on like Pravada Club or, you know, the Espinosa Boys, or these groups that have these fanboys. It's just not what my clientele is about.
Right.
So I thought LCA would be cool because it was something new every month. It gave, my customers something new every month. But I got a lot of, why am I going to buy it? If I like it, I'm not going to be able to get it again. Fair,
Yeah.
fair.
That's the whole thing
So,
behind LCA, limited cigars.
right, right.
That
But
does kind of stink.
then they also got a little, oh, this month we've got 3 new releases, and it just became too much. So we stepped away for a while, and then they um, reorganized their program and came out with, they're still considered part of LCA, but they're running these, it's kind of a regular run kind of thing, right? um Purple People Eater, it's on a regular run, but you can only get it once a year. That's why it's still limited. I
Like Amazon
carry,
Basin.
right, I carry Blue Cheese, and I carry uh Kings County and Apex and Farm Rolls, and I think there's another one in there, forgive me, but I can't always get them, and that's what makes them limited. So they produce them in limited batches until they're ready for the next.
Yeah, that's what
And
stinks. You find something you enjoy, and all of a sudden they just yank it out from underneath you.
but I also know, like, they released Purple People Eater a couple months ago, and I knew that when their inventory was gone, it was gone until the next batch, which could is probably going to be like a year from now.
Oh, wow.
So I stocked up on it. I am currently out because no matter how much you stock up, you can never prepare, right? The last one will eventually come, but
Yeah, I'm glad I got my hands on a couple of each.
I I was able to have Purple People Eater in stock for months after you could no longer get it at Pravada Club. So, again, it's a trial and error, give and take. Uh, I've had some of the Pravada stuff in here, brought it in, it didn't work. Said, all right, guys, we're not doing that one. What's next? Um, I
Well, how
just
about
got it
with
in.
some of the legacy brands? Are there any legacy brands that you would like to bring in, but their program is to the point that you can't even consider it?
Um, Davidoff. Um, I often get asked, "Do you carry Davidoff?" But their program, just to get started, the program is out of reach. Um, and then, unless rules have changed since we've opened, um, the dollar amount of the program is out of reach. But then there's other criteria, like they want their own humidor wall, and there's all these
Oh, wow.
crazy
Yeah.
things. Yeah, and and it's a brand, like, yes, people ask for it, but it's not a brand, because of price point, it's not a brand that's going to fly off the shelves, right? So
Right. Because
how do I dedicate a whole wall to a brand that's going to turn over, but it's going to turn over at a 6-month rate versus the 45-day rate. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So, and that's the other thing. I look at price point when I'm looking at brands, right? So I made a mistake. Well, I don't know if it was a mistake, but El Septimo, great cigars. I have not smoked an El Septimo that I didn't like. However, even their daily like budget brand or budget line starts at like $15.
Oh,
Now you start adding in tobacco tax and you're pushing like a budget line, you're looking at top end budget of $22, right? So I really, really like the rep that was repping for them. We had been working together for as long as I was open. And we came up with a plan on how to bring the brand in without me going broke. And that was that we planned a cigar dinner. And then we brought product in based on how many tickets I sold. That was a year and a half ago. Because of price point, I am still sitting on some of those cigars from a year and a half ago.
oh,
Well,
wow.
the good thing about it was that you
Yes.
had them there when I wanted to try them, and they're still there.
I still have the precious pinks or whatever they were called, and the problem is that it's a petite Corona for $18. Right.
Wow. Yeah.
However, I brought 2 boxes of those in because I really, really like the cigar, and I have never smoked that cigar for less than 45 minutes. And that's how I justify the cost of it. So
Okay.
even if it doesn't sell to customers, I will eventually buy the box. I say the same thing about Placencia, right? Now that one moves more regularly because people know the brand. A Placencia hexagon, Forte hexagon is with tobacco tax now is up to like $35. It's an expensive cigar. 2 things about it. 1, it's really, really good. 2, I have never smoked that cigar for less than 2 hours. So at $35, it's like
You got a
You're
heck of an
getting
experience.
you're getting two cigars. You're gonna spend that if you buy 2 cigars or if you buy this one. So it depends on what you're up for today, right?
Right. You're getting your money's worth.
Exactly. And that I usually get the question with that is, well, then what's the difference? Why does this smoke so much longer than that? Why can you smoke this petite Corona for 45 minutes when it looks like a 20-minute cigar? And it all comes down to the way it's rolled.
We had one of our guests on with his name was Nate Lynn from Revere Cigars. He's new boutique brand, and I smoked what they call a midnight ride. It's a Maduro. What did you have, Lance? The Habano?
I had the Habano. Yes, it was called the
2 lamps?
2 lamps. Correct.
Yeah. We legitimately were just smoking, having our conversation, and I was taking notes while I was smoking it so I can, track my thirds and the flavor notes and, transitions and things. And I didn't realize it at the time. We were coming up on just over 2 hours, and I was still in my second third.
Yeah, and it was a Toro. What, a 52?
Yeah, 52 or 54. I can't remember off the top of my head. But that was a densely packed cigar. Had a perfect draw. It burned nice. It stacked ash nice. But it legitimately, that Toro
Yep.
went 2 hours.
Yep. It can
Some
happen.
cigars do it. Some cigars don't.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, it's like the first time I smoked a nub. I thought, oh, 4x60, short little thing. I'll be done that thing half hour, 45 minutes. Hour and a half later, I'm still puffing on my nub.
I think we've all fallen for that.
Yes.
My first nub was one of their cafe blends, and I said, "Oh, excuse me, I just want a quick little smoke." So I bought this little short thing. There was nothing quick about it. Nothing quick about it at all. So yeah, it can be like even this. And granted, we're talking and whatnot, and I've relit a few times, but when I sit and just smoke this, reading a book or whatever, I still get a good 30 minutes out of it, you know.
So
But
is a
then
Speaking about
again,
cigar,
reading a book, she's got my books in her lounge.
I do. Somebody picked your book up and moved it to my members lounge. That means somebody's reading.
that's
There
right.
you go.
So as a cigar lounge owner, and you got your regular patrons that come in,
Mhm.
over the years, have you seen their taste change in cigars? And if so, how?
I was ready for this question. That one's tough. I don't know that I've seen a whole lot of changes,
Yeah,
unless I've gotten that brand new. Like if you get that brand new smoker and you kind of watch him grow, that's just the natural progression of, hey, today's my first cigar. I want something vanilla flavored too. Hey, I've been smoking for 3, 4, 5 years now. What do you got that's mellow, dark and mellow, or dark and smooth? Um, but as far as my seasoned customers go, I would say, other than, hey, what do you got new? Hey, what do you got boutique? They're not really changing much.
right.
I have seen Gordo smokers go to Toro, you know, like the guy that always wanted the biggest cigar because that's the biggest value finally realized that, oh, this Toro tastes better and I get just as much of a smoke out of it. You know?
Absolutely. That's that. I agree. That's my opinion of it. I'm also
Yeah. And I've seen a few people become Lancero smokers, but not many. That's a hard sell, that Lancero. I would have I would
And
have a
that's a shame about the
Lancero.
Lancero because you get more flavor out of it. You can pick up more transition. Um,
Yep.
get
but
a lot of the wrapper flavor.
even myself,
Exactly.
I gravitate straight to the Toros.
I'm
Typically,
guilty.
yeah. Typically. And if I want a shorter smoke, I'll do the Robusto. But yeah, typically if I'm looking, and it doesn't matter if I'm in my store or, you know, Joe Schmo's store down the road, I'm going to gravitate towards a Toro.
Yeah, I mean, I
Unless,
like the Robusto. That was my original go-to, and then I just found that with the ring gauge of a Toro, I it's not so much that I'm gaining more smoke time so much. It's just that I feel more relaxed with a Toro, mostly I guess the ring size. The Toro just became my go-to.
right now, and box press. I love a box press cigar. I don't know why. I think it's the mouthfeel.
Yeah.
I think it fits the mouth better. Um, you know, some guy out there is going to have something to say about that. But but
Well,
I
But I mean, that's actually one of the reasons why people do smoke the box presses because they said it's a mouthfeel thing. For
yeah,
me, I've had some very good box press and I've had some very bad box press. Sometimes the box press is really nice looking construction, but the draw is horrible. And other times it's a great draw, but then the construction goes from a box to an oval.
yeah, right. So, do you know the story behind a box press cigar?
no, please
No.
tell us.
So, uh, back in the day, if they had a bad cigar, like a ugly cigar, they would shove them into a box and they would eventually become box pressed. And those were the cigars that the factory workers would smoke. And then it just became a trend.
Oh, I did not know that.
So if they had like just a cigar that maybe it just looked ugly, it would become a box press that became a staff cigar. I found that
Learned something.
interesting
Yeah, very.
because so essentially box press was the sign of a I had the word and I just lost it, but an inferior cigar.
So that's
And
how it started
now
off. It was an inferior cigar. They
it
just
was
threw
an
in a box.
yep, and now they're actually, box press molding and everything.
Right.
Yeah. It
So
became trendy.
if a guy come in, didn't know anything about cigars, come in for the first time, what cigar would you recommend him out of your store?
Okay, so another question I was very excited to be ready for. The first thing I do is I ask questions, right? I'm not going to go, hey, guy, first cigar here, smoke this Cuba Cuba. Um, you're going to come in, you're going to say, hey, today's my birthday, and this has happened. Today's my birthday. I'm getting my first cigar. What should I smoke? My answer is going to be, well, it depends on what you want to smoke. Do you want something traditional or do you want something infused? Do you want something that's going to be like vanilla or bourbon or this or that? Or do you want something that is more natural tobaccos and traditional? And then I go from there. Um, if they want a flavored cigar or an infused cigar, I'll just run them through my inventory of infused cigars and let them pick what flavor they want because they're all going to be okay, right? They're all going to be in that mild range. They're all it's what flavor do you want? Do you want vanilla? Oh no, I don't do anything vanilla. Okay, maybe you want this Irish cream. Yeah, that one's kind of easy. When you're doing traditional, it gets a little harder because my tastes are different from your taste or different from Keith's taste, right?
Right. Everything's subjective.
Right. So I will go into my humidor and I'll pull 3 or 4, typically Connecticut cigars, and give a description of each cigar and let the consumer pick from there. My go-to is always a DBL Amarillo, a DBL Amarillo Barber Pole, an Esteban Carreras Cashmere, and a Perdomo 10th anniversary champagne.
Yes.
Those are my four go-tos for a beginner cigar. DBL is chosen because I would say 99% of the time, the guy that has smoked it has come back and asked for it. And I very rarely get somebody who said, no, I didn't like that cigar. The Cashmere, I just like it. So
Hey,
I,
you like what you
I,
like.
I really like it. So I'm like, I know that it's mild enough, but flavorful enough that this guy's going to get a good experience. The champagne was, that's kind of a 2-part story. It was my very first non-infused cigar. So it does hold a little special place in my heart. But ultimately, it's a good cigar, right? It's creamy, it's smooth, it's good construction. He can pick up 5 of them and they're all going to be the same. There's no inconsistencies. And it's a legacy brand. Like, it's just an all around great first time cigar smokers smoke.
Yeah, my youngest son, he's 28. That's I can't keep him in my humidor. That
Mm,
rascal, he loves them. I'm thinking I have to charge. I have to charge him rent.
right, right.
But then I got my oldest son who loves all my Amazon daggers. He loves them daggers.
Oh,
Yes.
those daggers are good. When you say all, how many you got?
And then my wife, which is going to lead to my next question. My wife, she enjoys the infused cigar, but she likes the little cigarillos, the acid
Okay.
line.
Mm-hmm.
She likes the little cigarillos. So
She
that leads to
might,
my
and
next quick. Well, go ahead.
I was
Well, I
going to
was
say
going
she
to
might
say
like
that
these
we are coming up
Toscanellas.
on that hour time frame. As much as
Okay.
I've got so many more questions to ask,
I do too.
and I hate to
So
have to cut us short.
we
But if I
we
can
could
get you back on again to continue more about this, because there is so much information that I like to be able to bring forward to new smokers, um, do's and don'ts of a brick and mortar
absolutely we can do a part two.
lounge.
Please, I'd love to have you back on. Please, I
That
got so
would
many
be
more questions. It
that would
just
be
popped into my
great.
head. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I can talk, but when it comes to educating, and I tell people this all the time, when it comes to educating, it is probably my favorite part of my job is
What in your
educating the
position, you
new
got
guy.
to right. You got to have that knowledge and are able to communicate to that person. And it sounds like you
Right.
do a fantastic job. I wish I could
I
visit your
try.
lounge.
One day, someday. We're only a
Ma-
12-hour
We
drive.
just gotta,
I
yeah.
don't know if that's true.
It's only like 4 or 5 hours based on flight time.
Yeah, yeah, right. It's just this far on the map.
Right. Well,
But I
again, we'll
wanted
So,
to thank you for coming on. I want to thank our
absolutely.
guest for popping in, and we will answer your questions in the chat. And then also, um, anybody who is on this recording, if they're interested in a keep them, if they're interested in a Keep 'em Lit Guys podcast sticker, just send me your name and address to keepemlitguys@gmail.com. And the first 25 people will get one for free. And Tony, again, I appreciate everything. And you are located at Spartan Cigar Lounge in Elkton, Maryland. And the website is spartancigarlounge.com.
That's correct.
All
Yes.
right.
Well, thank you,
Miss Tony,
gentlemen.
it's been a pleasure.
Let's get that part two scheduled. It was
Yes,
very
Absolutely.
nice meeting you,
absolutely.
Lance.
Same here, Miss Tony. Wish you
Keith,
the
I
best of luck.
miss you and Pearl.
I've been wanting to bring her down there, but as I said,
I
unfortunately,
understand.
with my injury and my medication, that's
Yeah.
not in
I
the immediate cards. But
I hear you. I hear you. Okay. Well, you both take care of yourself, and I'll catch you on the next round.
Thank you, Miss Tony. You have a great day.
Thank you. You
thank
too.
you.
Bye bye.
For more pro tips and honest reviews, like, subscribe, and as always, keep them lit, guys.
Thanks for watching.